Today on One Hale of a Podcast, we have an episode with Kay Rosaire, who's the founder of Big Cat Habitat here in Sarasota. She brought dozens and dozens, over 400 animals. We have tigers, lions, and bears. Oh my. And on today's episode, we're going to hear how it all started, her life story, some of the details, and just what it's like having a rescue, bringing in all these big cats and all these animals, and wait and see if she could pick one animal that she could get to the big cat habitat, what animal that would be. Listen to the whole podcast. This is going to be a fun one. Welcome back to One Hale of a Podcast, brought to you by Hale Law, Accident Attorneys. I'm your host, Patrick Hale, and today we have the pleasure of one of the most interesting guests I think we maybe had on this podcast ever, Kay Rosaire, and she is with Big Cat Habitat Conservation and Education Center. So you are the real life Tiger Queen.
Well, I don't claim a title, but I'm not. There are others that think they are the queens, but I'm not. I don't claim to be that. I'm just an animal lover that started a thing that grew up into a big thing.
So, and just before we dive into everything, how many animals do you have? How big are you? What do you guys do?
Well, we're on a total of about 20 acres, but 10 of it is the conservation department, which is not open to the public because that's where we're breeding critically endangered animals like our ruffed lemurs, our clouded leopards. We recently had jaguar cubs born, which
Wow.
they're endangered. And so that's what we do on that part of the property. The front part of the property, which is on Palmer Boulevard, is where all the rescued animals, and those are actually animals that we rescued that were in desperate need of a safe permanent home. And that's always been our mission, is to house them and give them a life, a good life, because we're a family, not a corporation. So we have good connection with all the animals.
Awesome.
And it's for the rest of their life. And we do, we get very attached. So it's a hard job.
I have my dog, Winnie. She's a golden doodle.
Yeah.
She's part of the family. So you're like that, but with
about,
tigers.
About 400 of them.
Wolves.
I think we have 50 big cats. We have
Wow.
about 8 wolves, and we have 14 bears. We have a bunch of primates. It was never a plan to do any of this. It was just, we just started hearing about animals in very dire situations. And because we are animal lovers, we're from an English circus family, and we've worked and lived with animals our whole life. And it was just a natural progression for me to try to help save as many as I could.
Awesome.
And so I'm very happy that it's worked out pretty good. And now, of course, we had to open to the public because that was how we support it, is from the guests when they come in and from donations. And it's actually become a pretty popular place.
Oh, I know it is.
Yeah,
I saw
worldwide,
you guys at
actually
Fruitville Grove.
worldwide.
Yeah. I think I saw on your website 50,000 people a year.
I think it's way more than that now.
You got to update your website.
Yeah, we do. We're very lax on all of that kind of stuff because we're very much involved with the animals, and they take up a lot of our time and effort.
And the animals sell themselves pretty much.
Oh,
everyone wants to see a big cat.
Well, everybody wants to see them, but the coolest thing is about the habitat is, as a youngster, my dad took us to zoos all over the world. Every time we were in a lot of countries, we traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
With our animals, we traveled them with us, and we always went to zoos. And as I grew up and had my own show on the road, I went to every zoo anywhere I went. When I was in Japan, I think I went to every zoo they had there, and I always looked at things like, how would I like to do it? And a lot of the zoos, including a lot of the zoos in the U.S., you can't really see the animals up close. They're kind of far away.
Yeah.
And so I decided I didn't want to have to walk 5 miles to see 3 animals. So it's a very small area and lots of animals. And we do things to make the animals involved with the people. Like you can feed a bear on a stick. You can feed a tiger on a stick. And that makes the animals participate on the days that we're open, because they're very lazy animals. They basically are couch potatoes, and they just kind of lay around or play around, lay in the pool. They're not real active, energetic animals. So by being open to the public, it gets them up and moving, and they like it. They know the days that we're open. It's really kind of cool.
Nice, nice. Well, let's get back to how it all started. I think I saw eighth generation
Yeah, that's right.
circus family.
Yeah, from England. We came over from England in 1961. My dad had a comedy horse act called Rosaire and Tony the Wonder Horse. And he toured with the Shrine Circuses. He worked on the Steel Pier in Atlantic City. We were there during our teenage years for a couple of summers. It was really exciting. And also, he went to, he did a lot of TV stuff in Las Vegas and Hollywood. And, we just, as we stayed here, after being 4 years on tour here, my dad got the whole family. There's 4 girls and 1 boy. And said, do you want to stay in the U.S. or do you want to go back to Europe? And so we all voted to stay here because we loved it. We had friends. And
he put up the family vote.
Yeah, he did. He was very
Nice.
democratic. So everybody agreed that we would stay here. And for a while, he ran the zoo in Erie, Pennsylvania. He was a zoo curator there while performing as well at times.
Yeah.
And so we literally grew up with every kind of animal. And so when my career was going on, as I traveled around the country, I saw animals in terrible situations. And I also saw a lot of places where they had terrible situations, and they'd have a sign that said, rescued circus animal. And I would go up and say, what animal is this? What circus was it from? And they had it wasn't. They bought it. You used to be able to buy tigers on the internet.
So, yeah, you could buy tigers on the internet. I want to get into the whole buying and selling and where all these tigers
it was
come
very
from.
much out of control. The USDA finally came in back in the late 70s and made some regulations where you had to have a license if you're exhibiting. They had rules, but a lot of the states didn't have local rules. So it ended up where a lot of people, for fun, they'd want to show off, have a tiger in their car on the back of their, it was out of
That
control.
seems sort of dangerous.
Sort of, you think? And I don't think people ever realize that, okay, you get a cute little tiger cub or a lion cub. Well, it's going to grow about probably 5 to 7 pounds a week.
A week?
That's how quickly they grow.
And how big do they get?
Well, 500, 600 pounds.
Okay.
A male, big.
I
My big
imagine
male
the food
lion
bill.
weighs
How much do you spend on food?
675 pounds my big male lion weighs.
And how do you feed these things?
Carefully.
Well, I know definitely carefully, but how much do you have to spend in food
when we buy our meat now, we get 14,000 pounds at a time. It's like a whole semi full of meat, and then we also
You have a big
get
refrigerator
poultry.
or something?
Oh yeah, we have coolers, and our electric bill is $7,000 a month. Hello.
I thought mine was expensive.
Hello. Right? It's not a cheap thing taking care of animals, and we actually have 23 people that work at the habitat. No volunteers actually take care of the animals because it's important that they have a bond with their caregiver, not just odd people coming in, and plus the danger factor of
Where
the
do you
predator.
buy that much meat? I wouldn't
We
even know where
buy
to buy
it from Amarillo, Texas. They ship it in a big freezer semi, and then it lasts about a year. And then we get from Cisco Foods here. We get chicken. If they have a case of chicken that falls off the forklift when they're moving it, it gets condemned. They collect
So
them.
it's fine for animal consumption,
You're
just
right.
not human.
It's just not for human. If it has a little poke hole in the cardboard, it's perfectly good food, but according to the rules, it can't. So we get that from them, which has been a great help over the years.
Awesome.
And the food for all the primates and all that, we have a food truck that goes around 6 days a week, and we pick up at Costco, Whole Foods, Fresh Market, all over town. We pick up produce and bread and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the animals eat a lot of organic berries and things, so they're getting kind of picky.
Everyone knows monkeys eat, they eat bananas, right?
Yeah.
What do they like more than bananas? There's got to be something they like more,
Not
right?
Not much.
No, they really like bananas more than anything?
Most of them, yeah, they love bananas, especially the lemurs. They actually eat the peel, too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, we
I
wash
heard.
it. And we have a whole kitchen, by the way. You don't just throw them food. Every animal has a specific diet that's written down and followed. They get their vitamins and mineral supplements. Some of them get gel. Some of them get grubs. And we have a young lady that does all of that. She has a complete human kitchen with all the hot water and
Nice.
refrigerators and freezers. And she spends hours in there every day prepping. Each animal has a container with its name on it, and that food goes to that animal.
So
It's very complicated.
yeah, it sounds like, I mean, it's a whole operation,
It is,
obviously.
it
just
is.
from what you're saying.
23 people.
23 people. And what, $7,000 electric bill?
That's just one bill.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
it's a very, it's like climbing a mountain all the time, trying to keep things going because it's so involved, you know. And now with all the regulations, we have to be perfect.
yeah.
And, you know, it's
So I heard that monkeys eat bananas differently than we eat them. Like, you know how we get the top part and peel it down? I heard they eat it from the other side.
usually, yeah. Yeah.
Is
And
it? Have you tried
funnily
eating
enough,
it like
my,
that?
my
I
sister
hear
has,
it's easier.
my sister, it is, they do, I don't know. Eh.
So you
My
eat bananas like a
Yeah,
human.
the chimps bite the end off and pull it, but they usually don't eat the peel. But the lemurs will eat the whole peel and everything.
Who's
They're
doing
all
it right?
different.
The lemurs or the monkeys?
I think the lemurs. There's a lot of roughage in the peel.
Okay. All right. Nice. So you mentioned as a child you were traveling around and you would bring the animals with you.
Mm-hmm.
What type of animals were you bringing around? Were you guys bringing around any big
Well,
cats?
no, when
Just
I
horses?
was with my dad, he had a comedy horse act called Rosaire and Tony the Wonder Horse. He had a chimpanzee that he did a bunch of comedy stuff with, and my mom had a dog act. She had 31 Pekingese.
Wow,
little
31 dogs?
31 dogs in a show, and it was terrific. Those was the
How do
day.
you travel with them? Is it like,
They had special housing and the transportation. You know, they did it correctly and well.
man, it's hard to find someone to watch just my one dog. I couldn't
know,
imagine if I
right?
had 31.
And you don't get somebody to watch your dog when you're depending on it for your livelihood.
That's true. That's
You
true.
never leave it alone. You always have a family member or somebody trustworthy.
Oh, I always do that with my dog too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
usually one of my friends.
Yeah,
I get people I know
yeah.
and trust,
I know
obviously.
people do that now. They trade. You
Oh,
take
yeah.
care of my dog this week. I'll take yours. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
good. It's great.
And the dogs get to play together.
Yeah,
They
they-
always like when they have a friend.
Right, right.
A real social dog. She's a golden doodle, so she just loves playing with other dogs.
Yeah, they're very popular because they're cute like that.
Yeah. So you founded Big Cat Habitat. Tell us about the history, how you got started. How did you get your first set of big cats?
The rescue cats.
The first set of cats. Yeah, wherever you got them. How did it all happen?
Well, I actually did a show with lions and tigers for years. That's how I supported myself and my family. And then what I would do is my brother Derek stayed at home, and I would send him money, and he would start building parts of the habitat. And every year when I came home, we would build more and more. And then I was at Clementon Park up in New Jersey for 10 years. I had a permanent show there. And every summer I would go there in the spring and come home in the fall. And I was able to put money together because I wasn't traveling. So
Yeah.
all that money came to the habitat, and my brother would build the structures. There was a lot of construction involved.
So he built his own
He
structures
built
for
a
the
lot
big
of
cats.
for the bears. He built for the bears. He built for the cats, and my husband at the time also was involved. And eventually, the first group of animals we got were a company went broke and they couldn't keep them. It was a different sanctuary actually, and they lost their zoning. And it was up in Florida. And
So they had the zoning and then they just changed
well, they
it?
were in like a residential area, and they started really little, and then they had a lot of animals, and the town the residential area grew up around them.
Well,
and
that's
then,
what's happening to you right now
and they
because
kicked 'em
I sort
out.
of live out in that area a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah,
and-
but we're zoned in correctly from the
Yeah.
beginning, so we don't have to worry about that. But anyway, so we took those cats that she couldn't take, and that was the beginning of it. And
Wow.
then the word got around that we were taking cats, and then in 2007 and 2008, when the economy that was big,
Yeah.
big thing happened that was
Yeah.
terrible, and a lot of places actually abandoned their houses. They just left, and some of the people that had exotic pets had to get out. They lost their property. So what are they
And
gonna,
all the people on the internet who were buying them
Well, they
A
weren't.
lot of those people
They,
just like didn't want them. And
no,
what do
they.
they do with them?
Well, there was too many. There's once they're big and dangerous, nobody wants them.
Yeah.
It's called surplus. You know, they don't once they're cute and cuddly. Even bears. Some of the zoos used to get cubs in the summer, or in the winter they threw them out. You know, well, they don't do that anymore. And the same way with cubs. Everybody wants a cub because they're so cute.
Yeah.
Well, once they're grown up and they eat 20, 30 pounds of beef a day, they're very expensive and very dangerous to take care of. So you have to have proper facility, safety measures, all of that. You have to have knowledge. You can't just do it, you know.
And do you go in, like, you'll go in a cage with a tiger?
Not one that I don't know.
Oh,
No,
I'm saying your
no.
tigers.
Oh, I'd worked him. I used to work 8 or 9 at the same time in a show.
How?
Because that's what you
is
do.
that
That's
like?
what I did.
It's just something you just got used to, or something that, like, what made you say, I want to be with tigers and not have a cage in between us?
Well,
Like,
when I was a kid, my mother's brother was a very famous lion trainer in England. His name was Tommy Kays, and they worked in theaters and he did movies and all that. And he was very famous. And my mother always told me stories about my Uncle Tommy, and I thought, oh, I'd love to be around cats. Well, when I was in high school we lived in Pennsylvania for a while, and my dad took over the management and care of Gentle Ben the bear. Remember Gentle Ben from the TV show?
I don't.
You might not because you're too young.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're all. I'm outliving everybody. People don't remember Gentle Ben the bear, Flipper the
Oh,
dolphin.
I remember Flipper. My mom liked that
Right.
show.
Well,
so I
Gentle
would watch
Ben.
it.
Well, there was also the show called Daktari where they had Clarence the cross-eyed lion. And we had all those animals in Pennsylvania. We worked them. We took them on tour.
The famous actor.
Yeah, we
animals?
did movies with them on the property there. We
Nice.
did some movies with the bear. Gentle Ben was an amazing animal. He was wonderful. Anyway, from my brother took care of the bear. I decided I wanted to be in charge of the lion. I was 17, 18. My dad let me do it, and I fell in love with lions. And then as I got older, I'm like, I want to work with lions and tigers. And it just kind of evolved. And I had a really interesting show. It's not like the beat 'em up fighting. It was a more loving and caring and licking my arm kind of show. And it was very successful. And we're in the Ring of Fame
Wow.
from
And-
that.
Yeah,
But
and so
then
is that how
as
you
that
end up-
as my career, as I decided things are bad, they're going to ban animals in circuses because the animal rights extremists, that's how they raise their money, is by trashing animal enterprises and saying lies. It was all lie. I mean, obviously, if you make your living with the horse, my dad had a horse act, that horse is treated like a diamond. I mean, he's spoiled rotten. I mean, you know.
So are
because
people
you
allowed to
make
do
your
that in
living.
circuses now? I haven't.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
circuses
only
I've been
some-
to recently, they don't have animals.
Yeah, some still do.
They're like acrobatics, which are
yeah,
cool.
boring.
Boring.
I mean, it's,
I do remember as a little kid, I saw people get in the cage with like tigers, and I thought it was
exciting, right?
It was
fun, and just think the elephants and stuff. Kids in rural America don't get a chance to go to Africa or see. They only see them either in a zoo, which there are not that many local zoos.
Yeah.
So to go to a circus and see wild animals was like thrilling.
Yeah.
For 100 years, 200 years.
I know. I could only imagine back in the day, they didn't have internet. They didn't have
nothing.
They would read about these elephants. They'd see pictures in like a book or an article.
They used to take
that's it.
One elephant in Minnesota had thousands of people traveled hundreds of miles just to see it.
Just see one elephant.
I mean, it was before zoos. It was
Yeah.
circuses, you know.
So, have you ever been bit before, or like hurt by what animals? I imagine
Well,
it
the
must
worst,
happen.
I've had a few little nicks here and there, usually because I screwed up, made a mistake. But I was doing a show up in Three Rivers, Canada, back in like 1990, must have been 90, I don't know when it was, 95, somewhere in there. And one of the tigers got a hold of me and knocked me down. And my lion actually came down and smacked the tiger, got her off of me, and
I've seen stuff like that online.
saved my life. Yeah.
Wow.
And I had a couple of hundred stitches. It was in my back.
A
And
couple hundred from one swipe. I mean,
Yeah, because it
That's-
got me in the hip and then went around and grabbed my leg and dragged me.
wow.
And so I had a lot of stitches, but I'm fine. I worked 10 days later. I was back in working.
And you just like Got
That
right
was
back
the
on the
hardest.
horse.
That was the hardest part. That was it. And I woke up in the morning and I said to my husband, I said, if I don't do it today, I'm never going to be able to do it again. I won't be
Yeah.
able to go in there.
Wow.
And I did. I went in.
That's some real bravery.
Just I had a lot of bills to pay and, a lot of
Yeah.
responsibility.
Wow. So, in all this traveling around, Sarasota's home for you. Is it because of the circus? Is that what brought you to Sarasota? Because, the history?
The weather for animals. It's much easier here than in the north. It was tough for us to have animals in Pennsylvania in the winter. It was the water freezes. It was
Yeah.
hard.
Okay. But why Sarasota? Is it because of the circus
Because
history?
all the circus people were here, all our friends.
All right.
And we would talk to them from Pennsylvania, and they were saying, "Oh, we're playing tennis," and we're like,
Yeah, and you're
"We're in
sitting there in the
snow."
cold. I've
Yeah.
only lived in Florida my whole entire life.
Well, we
so-
lived in Waterford, which is outside of Erie, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and it's the snow belt. If it's snowing anywhere, it's snowing in Erie.
Yeah.
So it was rough. And so I bailed out as soon as I got married. I was like, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah.
So when I started my career, I started it here.
Okay.
So then I got the property on Palmer, and we got the correct zoning to have the animals, and just became part of the community. And I'm just so grateful to our community members that they've been so kind and supportive of the habitat.
Yeah. And you talk about zoning and you talked about all these laws. Obviously, I'm an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, is there a big cat lawyer? Is there the
There
tiger
is-
lawyer?
Yeah, there is one. And what is his name? John. I can't think of his name, but he's the chief counsel for a group called the Cavalry Group, which is the group that defends people like us and the carriage horses and any animal activity. They're coming down on all kinds of animal things. I mean, anybody in the animal industry needs a group to protect them, and this is called the Cavalry Group. And he is the chief counsel for it, and he is an expert in USDA law and Florida Fish and Wildlife law.
Okay.
And we need him because some of the rules are ridiculous,
What are some of the rules that you don't like? Or not that you don't like, some of the things that people are trying to push?
Well, the Big Cat Safety Act is
And what's that? I don't know anything about.
well, I don't know
Big cats or
everything
anything.
about it, but it's very bad because it stopped a lot of people that were breeding endangered animals to even have them because it's so complicated.
So what do they want to do
But
with the
what
animals?
they did was, I'm not sure what all that is. You probably get the lawyer in here; he'd be able to tell you.
Yeah.
But they tagged on a bunch of other stuff when they passed it, so it's really having a hard effect on people with animals.
Wow. So, I think of the law. I think of big cats. I think of Carol Baskin and Tiger King. I understand you know of Carol Baskin.
Oh, I know her well. She's been attacking me for years. Actually, her place used to be called Wildlife on Easy Street, and we were already Big Cat Habitat.
I noticed
and
hers
golf
is almost
club.
the same name as
Well,
yours.
when she apparently, from what I hear, allegedly, they had some lawsuits because she got some people hurt doing something, staying overnight with animals or something. I don't know what it was, but they dissolved that nonprofit and started the other one. And when they did, she took half of our name and half of another rescue place in Clearwater. His place was called Big Cat. No, his place was something rescue, and mine was Big Cat Habitat. And so she took Big Cat because we were already well known.
Yeah.
And so she ran and then just kept, she's just not a very nice woman.
Yeah. So, and obviously we know how the Tiger King feels about her. So Tiger King, that I think it was a Netflix series. I know I watched it. It was very interesting. That's my question. Good or bad for the industry?
It was very bad. They actually asked me to be on it, and I said absolutely not because I knew it was going to be animal rights driven. That's what all that stuff is. It's like animal rights propaganda. Make animal people look like crazy people, and they did a real good job of it because they all look like nutcases. Anyway, so I declined. I wouldn't want to be in it because I knew it was. They said, "Oh no, it's going to be very positive." It wasn't positive about anything, and it hurt us because it showed some stupid stuff that this guy did, and our liability insurance doubled that
Did
year.
it really?
Oh yeah,
The insurance companies,
double.
they're always
Yeah,
looking for
they're
a way
like,
to raise your
you
rates.
know. Yeah, so
Wow.
we don't have a situation like nobody puts their arm in the cage to feed a lion. You know, we have hands-off feeding methods. You just
I mean, that seems like the right way to do it.
it is it's the only way to do it
Yeah,
if you want to live.
I wouldn't stick my arm
No, and that
in
girl
a cage.
put her whole arm in there. Here's the meat. Your arm's meat too, girl.
Yeah.
You know, it just was silly girl. But anyway, that had a very negative impact on a lot of animal people. And obviously those animals, I don't know what they did with them, but they're all gone, you know.
Yeah. So, have you ever turned down an animal that someone was trying to donate? Obviously, you're constrained by the size of the property, all that.
No.
Are you looking to get more animals?
No, we don't have to look. We get them. They show up once in a while. Somebody will pass away and they have an animal that needs a home. We do that. And actually, last year during the hurricane, during those bad storms,
Yeah.
my son and our crew rescued 5 other animal facilities in Florida.
Oh, yeah. And I never thought about that. There's a hurricane coming through. What do you do with your animals if there's a hurricane?
Well, we have locked
Because
down.
the eye went right over your place.
We were scared because we had a lot of flooding. Luckily, when I first started the place, I put 4 foot of dirt first, so everywhere where the animals are is pretty high ground.
Good.
So nothing got flooded. We lost the top off of one of the little buildings, and a lot of fences came down.
That's what I was just thinking.
But no
fences come
animals.
down in my neighborhood, no big deal. Fences come down in your property,
Well,
big deal.
not really, because the animals
Cats
are all
everywhere.
in lockdowns. We
Okay,
have
that makes sense.
lockdowns. We put most of them in at night in lockdowns, and in a storm, everybody's in a lockdown. The smaller primates are put in kennels and in concrete buildings. The new facilities that we build now, we put a concrete bunker in each one so that they don't have to be moved. They just have to be locked in, because it's took us a week to get ready for the storm, working every day to take everything down, put the animals away, and then, last minute put them all in because it's hard to get out and feed them. And so my son and one of our top guys, they stay on site. And we have 2 shelters on site that you can get in. They're concrete shelters.
Wow.
But it's, you have to be prepared for all of that. And
Yeah.
we are well prepared. We didn't lose one animal.
That's good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So, just looking at some of the other stuff.
Not to mention, we saved 5 other places. And
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and one
Tell
of
me
the
about
other
that.
places was actually run by Florida Fish and Wildlife, somewhere north of here. And they had a cougar that was on a bench, and the water was up to the bottom of the bench. So we actually they had to actually go in and tranquilize the cougar. And we brought her to our facility for about a month till they fixed that and got it cleared up and put the fences back up. So we did that too.
Nice.
So
So,
we
you're
did-
even
yeah,
helping out
Yeah,
FWC.
we actually have special equipment. We have a huge truck with big wheels with winches, and it's got pipes up so you can go in water. And actually, it blew our transmission, cost us $14,000 to fix it. And we didn't get anything for helping to rescue the 5 places. But you know what? That's our job. We are stewards of the animals. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, those are certain things. Everyone's just thinking about what they're dealing with when a hurricane's going on. I'm not even thinking about the big cats.
It was amazing because we thought we were going to be closed for a long time because all the petting zoo fences were down, and it was a lot. But fortunately, a couple of local friends showed up, and 2 guys came from Toronto and brought a bobcat with them, and they helped us put things back up.
Oh, I was thinking of bobcat at first, like the
Oh,
cat.
no,
the bobcat.
no.
You're talking about bobcat,
Plenty of
the
them
small
around.
construction vehicle.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So
I'm like, why
anyway-
would they bring a bobcat
Yeah,
into a
too.
hurricane zone?
So anyway, yeah, true.
My mind's thinking cats now.
Yeah. So anyway, we were open again within about 10 days. So it was, which we wanted to, because people need to get out of their head and relax, and our members come just to have lunch.
Yeah. So your members, is there
There's
a
memberships. yeah.
membership and
Yeah.
what? It's like an annual pass, and you get in
Yeah,
like exclusive
there's all
events?
different levels of membership, and it's the cheapest way to do it if you live here and you want to bring the kids for lunch, like single moms and stuff.
Yeah.
And, we're not greedy people. We're free to all veterans always. Every day we're open.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we always have been because I grew up after the war in Europe. So I remember what it was like. And so we appreciate the veterans.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, obviously support the veterans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they give pretty much
They gave a lot.
everything
They
for
gave a
the
lot.
country. So
Yeah. And it's fun because they come and they're proud that they are veterans and they bring their family. And it's a good thing to do. I'm
Yeah.
happy. And we do it for police and, pretty much any civil servants.
that's awesome.
And
That's
we let
awesome.
all the kids in. We have these couple of places where they have abused kids. They don't have to fill out paperwork or make a prearrangement. All they do is, call me and say, I got 5 kids that need a break. And they just come on in.
That's nice, and let their mind be distracted and just
Totally. There's
look at the
nothing.
animals.
Animals are good for people. You know
They
that
are.
if you have your dog,
Yeah.
your dog makes
Pet
you
my
feel
dog.
good, make you happy.
Yeah,
The petting is better for you than it is for the dog.
I know.
So,
I know. So,
so yeah,
I-
it's good for people. Need to be around animals. That's why farmers are such cool people, because they're always around animals. It keeps them grounded to the earth.
yeah, and I saw that you guys go into schools too and have like
Yeah,
educational programs.
That's what Gator John and Sasha do. They go out on outreach programs. We get all the county summer camps every year. We get a lot of school field trips. It's very educational.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's inspiring to see, beautiful animals up close. It makes people want to help them.
So my son, he's in elementary school. The thing that he joined, they have all these different clubs. He joined Critter Club.
Oh, cool.
And so they would like bring in snakes and stuff. That was his favorite thing. I'd just be like,
we have
I'm like, what'd you learn or what'd you see today? And he'll be like, the snake or
my
some
grandson,
random gecko or something.
when he was tiny little guy, I'd say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" "I want to be a paleontologist." He could hardly say it, but they have a reptile room. They got all kinds of lizards and really interesting stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And then we talked a little bit about conservation, education, the community. Let's do the Florida Man segment. So every single podcast we do a Florida Man segment. This one is the article is called "Florida Man, known as the Monkey Whisperer, pleads guilty to federal charges for trafficking protected primates." Essentially, his name's Roger Handberg.
Hammond.
Yeah. Oh, that was the United States State Attorney. Okay, this Jimmy Wayne Hammonds, also known as the Monkey Whisperer, from Parrish, Florida, not too far away. He pled guilty to violating the Endangered Species Act and the Lacey Act. And what he did was he was selling to buyers different primates. Which ones were they?
The cotton-top tamarin.
Yeah, I did mention this to you
I
right before the
knew all
podcast.
about
And you
it.
know who he is?
Yeah, I knew all about it because I thought it was really ridiculous. He sold one monkey without permission, and I think it's illegal. Obviously, they're endangered species, but they're breeding them in captivity pretty good. But that one mistake he made should have been like a $10,000 fine or something. I mean, around here the developers cut down a whole field of trees and pay a fine. It's no big deal. He had one little monkey that he sold illegally, granted, which we don't buy or sell, so
Yeah.
we don't do any of that. But I felt it was bad. They took away he had breeding animals that he was breeding very successfully. He had rough lemurs, which are critically endangered. He had a bunch of stuff. He was being very successful, and it was a nice facility. I've been there. And they just took all his animals.
Wow.
Shut him down.
Wow.
His whole livelihood. I mean, I just think it was a little extreme for one monkey.
Yeah, I think I read the article and he was facing years in prison.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like let the punishment fit the crime, That was a little extreme. But
Wow.
their laws are crazy now.
yeah. I don't know any of the laws when it comes to, just for the record, I don't know anything about animal laws
law,
or
yeah.
anything.
Well, you better
I'm an
start
attorney,
studying if you're
but
going to be my
if anyone
friend.
asks me anything about animal laws, I do not know. You need to
Yeah.
if you want to know about big cat law, call the
Yeah.
big cat lawyer that you
No,
mentioned there.
yeah.
Um,
I wish I could remember his name. He really is a great lawyer.
well, obviously you aren't getting in any trouble because you don't even know the attorney's name, so you're
Right.
following all the rules.
We
So
do. We do.
it's a bad.
We're
It's not
very
a good thing if you know
and
the.
we're a family. We're not a corporation. We don't have money for lawyers and all that.
Yeah.
We have to be right. And we do whatever they tell us we have to do. We just do it.
That's the best way to do it.
That's it. We cooperate. We agree with it. Or we can contest some of it. We can ask for variance, but we never argue with it. We just say, okay, whatever you, which is hard because a lot of it is judgment calls.
Yeah.
And people that don't really know much about animals,
And you must be doing things the right way, or else FWC wouldn't call you after a hurricane and have you rescue the animals.
No.
So you're
And
obviously doing things the right
everybody
way.
calls us, believe me.
Yeah.
No, and our place is, we do the best we can with what we have, and
Absolutely.
that's the main thing. No animal goes without food or love or care or water or shelter, and they live a long time because we take good care of them.
Nice. A true rescue.
They all have a name. They all have a personality. Except some of the fish.
Do you have a theme for the
Some
names?
of the fish and some of the goats don't
Poor
have names.
fish. The ghosts don't get a name?
Some of them do.
Oh, come on. You should name one. You should name one Patrick after me.
Actually, they have. We
Can
have
you
a
name a
billy
goat?
goat. We have a billy goat. We'll name after you. He's got the.
Call him Patrick Goat.
Yeah. We have the.
For people who aren't watching it on YouTube and just listen to the podcast, she says he has the, and then she grabbed her chin, referencing my beard, I
Yeah,
think.
he has the
Do I
beard.
look like the goat?
Look like an old goat. Yeah. No, he doesn't. He's quite cute. Anyway.
Yeah, look at the YouTube if you don't believe it.
Yeah. Anyway, we let them name the goats, and the fish don't care.
Well, let's do a rapid fire round. So these are going to be 5 questions. Favorite animal at the sanctuary outside of the big cats?
The rough lemurs. I love
The rough
them.
lemurs.
They're so sweet and gentle. And they have the softest little hands. And they'll touch your face and it just feels so good.
That sounds like an animal I'd like to meet.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet a big cat.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid. But a lemur sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dream addition to the sanctuary, any species that you'd love to care for in the
Giraffe.
future.
I want to get
giraffe.
I've wanted a giraffe my whole life. Unfortunately, they're very high dollar now, but we're hoping.
How much does a giraffe cost? Or
A
giraffe?
lot.
What's
That's
a
why
lot?
they say giraffe money because it's a couple of $100,000 for a female.
A couple $100,000?
Mhm.
And why a female? Why the
Because
distinction?
she could have more giraffes,
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
and they're more gentle and easier to handle than the males. So there's a higher demand for them. There's always every.
I don't think about
Every
animals with
female
like
animal-
a money amount, but I guess, giraffes are worth a certain amount.
Yeah.
What's a tiger go for?
I don't know because
they're not allowed to sell 'em.
We don't sell them and we don't buy them.
But you're allowed to buy
you know
giraffes?
what's really disturbing now? I see in the Arab Emirates, I see these guys on Facebook and YouTube
I
all
see
the
'em
time,
too.
and they're like stupid with animals.
They play with them in a rough
they're,
way.
They're mean.
Yeah.
They chain them to the ground and let people take photos with them and stuff. And then the horses, they're terrible with their horses. They pull them around and they're mean. But the way they treat their exotic animals is they're going to get people killed.
I've seen it
I
before.
think they do and don't say anything about it.
Yeah, I've
They
seen
let
some
them
of the
attack
videos.
'em.
They're
Yeah.
bad. Like even with my dog, I don't play rough with her.
No,
because
you're
I don't
teaching
want
them to
I don't
be
want
rough.
it to be rough. Yeah, like she
Teach
can
her
pull
to
on
attack.
a she
That's
can pull
what
on a
people do.
rope.
Teach
you know?
animals to attack.
But yeah, I don't like pat her in the face and try to go or anything.
No.
I don't want to do that because I have kids. I don't want her to bite
Especially
anyone.
a rough dog, like a big dog, you should never do that with them because you're actually bringing out the aggression. When we train with big cats, we don't want to see that. Where it's all lovey-dovey and here, have a piece of meat and
Yeah.
let me pet you and lick my arm. That's how we train. If you do it the other way, beat them and hit them, they're going to kill you. It brings out the hate. That's what aggression brings out more aggression. So we're very passive with the animals.
Yeah.
And I actually encourage people never to rough play with a big dog, a pit bull or a German shepherd. They can accidentally hurt you. Their teeth are so sharp.
Absolutely.
Don't
and I'm not very good
roughhouse.
at this rapid fire round either.
Okay, well,
we were
hurry
in
up.
rapid fire. I guess both of us just forgot about it, and all of a sudden I came back. I'm like, I'm not
Okay.
in rapid fire. Okay, so Dream Edition, you want a giraffe. I wanted to hear more about the giraffe, so I asked the questions anyways. But best comfort food after a long day with the animals.
Spaghetti. I love spaghetti.
Spaghetti's good. One Sarasota spot you love when you're off the clock. And I know you're probably never totally off the clock, but where do you like to go in Sarasota?
My favorite place is where I live because I have all these animals. I have a cheetah in my backyard. I open my back patio windows and there's the cheetah right there. And in front of my house is the pond and other animals. So it's like I live in paradise and have all the sounds of the animals. And sometimes when the wolves howl, the coyotes behind in the other property behind us answer, and it's quite magical.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And if you weren't running a sanctuary, what would you be doing instead?
Oh, I love to fish, go boating, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love going on the boat. I used to fish a lot.
I used to ride a lot. My sister has Rosaire's Riding Academy, and actually I'm going to start riding again.
Is that where my wife went? That's how I knew this name.
Elian, that's my sister.
That's how I knew the name. My wife got some horseback riding lessons.
There you go.
And that was the place I looked up online, and I'm like,
it's
found
Elian.
it. Yeah. Okay, so my wife knows your sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
I'm gonna.
She hasn't been back in like a year and a half.
It's
or so.
really good exercise. That's why I'm just gonna walk around because I'm getting older. But it gives you full body exercise when you ride a horse. Not to mention the electricity between us and horses is very good.
I love horses. They're so powerful. I got thrown off one once.
Well, you have to
because there was a lightning storm and a thunderstorm that came through, and the horse was sort of just galloping and just dead stopped.
Freaked
and then
out.
I didn't stop. I just kept on going. And then when I was going over, then it like tried to bite me or something because I was on its neck.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I don't.
Well,
they should have given me better lessons.
You have to go
and
have lessons. You have to.
Yeah, they should have given me lessons.
Don't just jump on a horse.
No, yeah, it's a bad idea.
But it is wonderful, and especially out there because we can ride up the celery fields.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and I've seen your animals from celery fields.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And
well, I looked down and I was like, I hope they can't get out.
They hear
that was my thought.
They hear the lions roaring.
I heard the lions roar
peacocks,
when I was running on celery fields before.
Yeah.
It was early in the morning.
They roar usually early. If they hear bass music on the road in front, they start playing with it.
That's pretty funny. And last one of the rapid round that I think neither one of us are good at rapid round. What is an animal that most people would think you need some sort of permit for in Florida, but you don't?
You pretty much need permits for every animal.
Every single animal?
Yeah. Matter of fact, don't mess with native wildlife. You're not allowed to feed raccoons or deer. You're not supposed to do that.
You can't even feed like a squirrel?
Well, yeah. Nobody's going to know.
Yeah, I did once. I mean, I accidentally took a gopher tortoise once. It was huge when I was like 9 years old or something.
Right.
And I put it in my backyard. I remember my dad came home from work and he's like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? You can get me arrested. And I didn't realize what I was doing.
Well,
I thought it was just a big turtle. I didn't even know it was a tortoise. And it was massive.
That's one thing that people shouldn't do is, one of the big problems in Florida is those sulcata tortoises. Yeah. If you come to our place, you'll see how big they get. We have two that weigh over 300 pounds. They get like this big, and they live
that big.
They live 70, 80 years, and they eat a medium-sized one will eat a whole case of romaine lettuce per day. So people get them as tiny little things, and they shouldn't be allowed to sell them in the pet shops, I believe, because they grow very quickly. Well, not real quickly, but they grow, and they cost so much to feed. They also dig and get out, and then they're out in the environment.
Yeah, because they dig holes. I have them in the woods near my house.
You have to put mesh under the ground so they can't dig out. People don't know that, and they come out and it's gone, and now it's an invasive species.
Oh, wow.
And it's not good for the environment. It's not good for them because they dig, and when they dig in Florida, they can end up in an aquifer, and drown when it rains. So
wow.
Yeah, we have so many of those that it's like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you have to like put them in your will because they may outlive you.
Oh, they will.
Especially if you get if I got one now, it's gonna outlive me.
Same with big birds,
big birds.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Sesame Street Big Bird.
Yeah.
Just big birds in general.
Yeah,
So,
parrots.
all right. So closing this up, where can people? How do people visit your big cat habitat? How do they donate, volunteer, support? Where do they find you online?
All of that. And we're on Facebook, Big Cat Habitat. It's pretty easy to find in Sarasota. Only one in Sarasota. And we do yoga with the animals. You know, we do yoga.
I saw that on your website.
Yeah, we do all of that, and we do encounters with. You can walk a wolf go for a walk with a wolf. There's a lot of cool things you can do. All of it you can go to the Facebook or we have a website, bigcathabitat.org. They can call. There's phones. We have people answering the phone. If not, you leave a message. And we're open right now. We're on short season because the crowds are small.
All right.
So we're only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right now. But starting, I don't know when we start, right around the holidays, then we go back to Wednesday through Friday, through Sunday.
Okay. Awesome.
So we're open every day, Wednesday through Friday from noon to 4. And we do have a show at 1 with the birds and a show with other animals at 2.
Nice.
Including my son with the big cats. It's pretty cool.
I need to get out there. I drive by it all the time. I see it.
Well,
I just haven't been out. So
yeah, it's
now
like,
I
I
need to
don't
go
go to the beach either. So
yeah, I think I'm actually on the
I
beach
think when
tonight after work.
When we live here, we don't. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
People come from all over the world to see what we have here, and we don't bother because we live here.
Yeah, the last time I've been to the beach like 2 or 3 times over the past year. I go out on the boat more.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I just don't drive out to the beach because the traffic's bad,
know,
and then you can't find a parking spot.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can find a parking spot tonight. That concludes another episode of One Hale of a Podcast, brought to you by Hale Law Accident Attorneys. See you next time.
You know